Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so couple of things happened over this video. We had a major, well, I did not we. My computer decided to crash on me. So I actually lost the audio, and I am actually going to play back the video and go over it. So that way it's a little more interesting. I do remember this video itself being a bit more tedious, so I wanted to make sure that you guys had something going on top of it, because I'm going to die here, but I'm actually probably going to die here a couple times if I remember correctly. This session was actually a couple of days ago, so I get to kind of experience this fresh with you guys like an outsider. So, but we are definitely not surviving this part. Yep. But, you know, hey, at least I give you guys some cool death animations, right? And I remember being kind of frustrated that the game showed me, hey, you should melee, or not melee a clicker. I'm like, well, I had no bullets in the chamber. What else should I do? So, clearly I should have ran more and shot more. But I think after that mistake, I started getting more familiar with the grass mechanics, because they do work, but it's kind of like a... it like dampens their vision. It doesn't actually hide you. So as I kind of got familiar and more comfortable with it, I started taking a few more stealth kills, and you're gonna see that here. I believe this one I successfully get the stealth kill and make a couple of things happen. So hope you guys are doing well. The weather the last couple of days in Michigan has been awesome. I think today it got up to 87, but it wasn't too hot. And thankfully it's let me record with the window open, so I'm a little more comfortable, and also not have to do anything in the audio side of things to make things sound better or cut out fan noise, because I've been playing around with that a little bit and trying to get some fan noise stuff like deadened, make my voice sound a little better. I'm hoping you guys are picking up on that if you've been watching since the beginning. Every video is a chance for me to grow, and I think right now I'm still exponentially doing things. I haven't hit any plateaus, because as I kind of get my process, I'm like, oh, well, this is a little easier now, so why don't I try this? And it's been building on it, and now I get the opportunity to dub over a video, so I'm going to see if I like this method. I don't think this is how I'm going to be going for the future. Mostly because I'm spoiling my own gameplay. Like, I already kind of told you guys, oh, I'm going to die here. And you guys don't get to hear me freak out, which I assume me freaking out is part of the fun. Please a comment if you guys think so, or if you don't. So here, I'm just trying to figure out how I want to take out these zombies while still maintaining some stealth value. Because I don't want to go into a full fight. That just does not sound like fun. Yeah, so I'm just kind of getting familiar with how much vision they have, even when I'm not down. Because as you can see there, no one was really looking at me, so I didn't really need to crawl, except for that one stalker, I believe. Or runner, I think they're calling them in this game. They used to be called stalkers when they ran really fast, but I've only heard the characters refer to them as runners right now. So, it's a runner. So yeah, I think I'm going to try and take this kill out, and I'm not sure if it's going to set everybody else off. Clearly that stalker is going to see me, so I should have known better. And I think I'm weighing my options. I was in that split second weighing my options. I'm like, oh, I can take two. That's not a big deal. I've got plenty of bullets. Yep. So we clear that up pretty nicely. We lost our rifle ammunition, though. Which I always hate to see.
There were still people around.
Oh, also, I believe this will be the first recording you guys get to hear me in my new microphone.
Maybe.
I picked up a microphone on an arm this time instead of a stand. And I've always used a dedicated mic for my playing video games with friends. I don't like having a mic attached to my mouth and dangling, and you can hear the rustling on my face, or if I scratch my face or something. So having it separate and dedicated also allows it to sound a little bit better. So I upgraded a really crappy blue snowball microphone to something a little bit better. It's Audio Technica AT2020, in case you guys know microphones. It's pretty common, and it was only 70 bucks when I got it, so I was really happy about that. So we're in a not a church.
Hey, Ellie. This place is a synagogue.
A synagogue, that's right. Sorry, I don't know
How can you tell?
as much about religions
There are minority
that I'd
religions
like.
on the wall.
I like to just know
a
things.
Jewish
I'm
thing.
not
And
big
two,
on
I didn't
religions
mention
though,
French
so
just now, so
Burst into flames?
it's just a dumb joke.
Oh, unlike your other ones.
You shut it.
get some banter going back and forth there.
This place brings back a lot of memories. My sister used to drag me to a synagogue all the time.
You never struck me as much of a believer.
Nah, but I like coming from a long line of survivors.
You mean after Outbreak Day?
That, and the Inquisition, and the Holocaust. My family always made it out alive. Barely.
Yeah. And see, that's cool too. We're getting some character building during all this. We kind of learned Dina's
Watch us on
background
the
a
other
little
side.
bit because we already know a lot about
Found
Ellie.
gas.
So,
Just
and
need
they've
to
been
get
traveling
back
for at least a couple of weeks now, probably more like a month or two, because you know the weather's gotten warmer, and well, I mean they started in the winter. It's springtime now, so yeah. I think I said they were dating for like a couple of weeks in one of my earlier videos. Going back to that now, I kind of shake my head, but anyways, yeah. So we're just gonna solve some puzzles, go through the synagogue really quick, and keep exploring Washington. It's really cool to see how this synagogue was probably used for either government, because you can see that thing there, and they were probably testing people as they went through with those gates or something like that, and they were probably using this for storage, I think, and probably office space as well. Yeah, so I've been getting really comfortable with my editing. I've got a couple of methods now for syncing up the audio, because I started recording audio separately. I think I've already told you guys that. And I've also been messing around with different video codecs, different ways to record and different file sizes, stuff like that. Making it easier to and quicker to upload to YouTube,
Language.
taking less space
It's
on my
empty.
hard drives,
That sucks.
stuff like that.
Now what?
Also, Dina totally stole my joke.
We'll try our luck at the courthouse garage.
And I think she stole our joke because she's in
Outta
the
here.
synagogue, so she's just more aware of it, because I know she's dropped F-bombs before. So. I've been getting a little more creative is a strong word for a few texts, but I have put a few texts in. I hope you guys have been liking that. Just little snippets. As I get more comfortable, I'll try and do a little bit more every time.
Do you still
Sometimes
pray?
videos don't call for it, and I don't do it. But
Sometimes.
Really? When?
I said one when we left Jackson. I said one at Joel's grave. Sometimes I just say little ones to myself.
Does it help?
I think it calms me. Helps me put things in perspective. It's a way to deal with grief. A way to show respect. It's what I know.
yeah, so I'm just trying to find a way out of the synagogue right now. And if I remember correctly, it's kind of a cool little hurdle you have to do. So I actually don't realize I need to push that cart, and I will in a few seconds. It doesn't take me too long. We're going to actually go back into that little gated area, and I'm going to push that, and I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, duh. So I think I'm about to connect the dots. Here we go. It's a little weird. They made it like awkward to push this cart, which is really cool because it's like awkward to push those kind of carts, so it just felt more realistic.
This way.
Right behind.
Yep, so we find the Torah
What's
and
this?
stuff like that in here.
Oh, this is the Torah.
The what?
It's scripture. It's like a Jewish Bible.
Hmm.
My sister would have flipped for this. The one we used in New Mexico was half burned. All right. Well, at least they didn't just chuck everything.
It's kind of weird watching this footage after I actually recorded yesterday, and we're quite a few more episodes in. I've got a backlog of videos I'm catching up on this weekend. It's kind of weird to come back to it. Not that it's bad. I do enjoy the
Hey, what are you doing?
cutscenes and
Bet I
keeping
can get to
everything
the other
fresh.
balcony with this.
This game is doing a great job of telling a story,
okay.
whether or not it takes me outside of a
Ellie,
cutscene or lets
careful.
me experience it
It's okay.
in real time. And
It's
I
holding.
like how they blend. It's been really cool that way. If you don't have to just put the controller down and watch a video, it feels more immersive, whether or not you're doing QuickTime events or not. I honestly don't think QuickTime events are that immersive. There's very few times they're done right. That fight scene we had in
Nothing to
the first The Last of Us,
Come on, Dana.
when we have to go get the gun, that gives you no prompts, but you pushing the analog stick forwards does make Ellie go for that gun in that fight in that log cabin. We actually did that video in our playthrough, and that felt pretty natural.
5774. Are we in the future?
No, doofus, that's a Hebrew calendar. For the new year, my sister used to give me an apple dipped in honey. Ugh, now I'm craving it.
Ooh, that does sound pretty good.
Jewish holidays are all about food. And celebrating not getting annihilated by our enemies.
A long line of survivors.
Exactly.
Surviving is definitely a helpful thing in The Last of Us, I would say. It helps you cut out less footage in your playthroughs. I actually haven't cut out any footage, I don't believe, yet. We might get to that point if I hit a struggling part. That's kind of why I did the medium difficulty. I didn't want to waste too much of your guys' time, especially while I'm learning the technology and getting more familiar with how I want to do things. So I hope it's still been engaging to watch, and you can watch me go with some creative, more fun Rambo-style kills, but also get a lot of stealth kills. I think the medium difficulty has been helpful with that. It gives me a lot of tools. Although I still think they keep me pretty short on bullets. It's the other stuff that I don't have a problem with getting. I get full on rags and stuff like that to create Molotovs. So yeah, we're just making our way back to Shimmer,
Okay.
our
Cross
horse.
the dome off the list.
Let's go find the courthouse. It might be worth grabbing some supplies before we press on.
This part I remember being stressful, just because they're like, "Oh, you should go for supplies, but also go for the actual objective." And I'm weighing, I think, even out loud, like, well, how much supplies do I go for before it gets annoying or less engaging for you guys? So I think I tried to get the balance right. I definitely wanted to have enough supplies to do fights so I wouldn't die, but also keep the pace going, you know? And I think there's a
Peaceful out
section
here, at
coming
least.
up where I
It's
might
weird being
decide
the
to
QZ
cut
not
it,
hearing
or
trucks.
maybe I can
gunfire
be
and
engaging enough in
explosions.
audio. We'll see.
My sister always avoided QZs. That's probably why.
But there's a lot
She
of
just got more and more
conversations they
paranoid.
have here. So
She'd sometimes wake up screaming in the middle of the night.
That's rough.
We always had a backpack so we could bail if something happened. Never stayed in one place for more than a few weeks. It sucked.
It's nice to have a place we call home, right?
Yeah. When I first got to Jackson, I was so overwhelmed by all the people.
I was overwhelmed by all the food. I remember my first week just gorging.
Hey, I think I found the courthouse.
that was a
How
weird
can you
little
tell?
cut.
See that sign up there?
But don't worry, they
On the
resumed that other
building says
conversation.
courthouse?
Yeah, so I think this was one of those places I was like, oh, do I go there? You know? I think it was kind of hard to find on the map because you use the streets, right, to get between all of them. You can see right here on this map, 6th Avenue, 5th Avenue. So I tried using the streets, but every now and then I'd go to a building and I couldn't quite find where I'm supposed to enter. So I think I decided to go try and find this guitar place first before we enter and progress the story.
Care to continue?
Ah, yeah, so... I remember
It's a
my
natural way to
first
pick up
week
the
just
story.
gorging myself. Stuffing food in all my pockets for later like it was gonna run out.
I saw that.
You did not?
I did. I remember thinking, who is this string bean girl stealing all the jerky?
I didn't steal that much jerky.
I would definitely steal jerky. Not like during civilization, but if people have jerky and it's the apocalypse, jerky makes me happy. I'm probably going to steal it. Plus, it'll fit in your pockets pretty easy. Just saying.
What? What's that shimmer? You don't say.
Pun alert.
Oh, no.
Ellie, Shimmer says we should find a bakery
Why?
so she can go buy some thoroughbread.
I've created a monster.
You only have yourself to blame.
Yeah, I blame you too, Ellie. What the heck? This is some supplies I was able to find, though. This is cool. I think it like sends you off on a couple of more smaller side quests for supplies. I can't remember how many I got to. But it was nice to get some drugs. We're always down for more drugs. And I think it gave me a couple other things to build with as well. And I'm just reading through that. Sorry, I didn't really say much of it out loud. I must have been reading it in the other recording. So. Yeah, I believe this is episode 7. And I must have gotten to like 14, 15, or 16. So keep an eye out. I'm going to try and do the daily uploads. I think that's been working out well for me. I can get a couple done on the weekend and then just try and pace myself on the weeknights when I've worked to do some recording. I try to save up recording for the really nice nights when things are nice and cool because air conditioning's so loud in my place. I don't want to run it while I'm recording. Yep, so this is me exploring. I think I'm going to try and go down Cherry Street. Or do we go to Madison first? Okay, so I think I decided to go to Madison. Yes. Yeah, that gate over there. Yeah, and I think that graffiti says WLF
Where you
there.
going?
There's something back here.
Yeah, okay, so that's what it was saying in the note. The one that we just found. Go here. So I actually did get to this spot, which is good. And then I have to figure out the code, which I don't know yet. Use gate code. Okay, so that's easy enough. In the menu, I kept forgetting that I had to go use a different button to get to the code. Oh, I was just checking out the watch too, because I think I was looking for the right one, and then yeah, see how gate codes was right next to Joel's watch, so I just accidentally clicked one or the other. It's not as accurate as keyboard and mouse, unfortunately. But I'm really happy I got the Last of Us controller. It's really cool. I like it's got a subdued color scheme to it, black and white and gray, And with Ellie's tattoo, it's very nice. And
Scavenging.
compared to the normal PlayStation controller, which has a couple bright colors and stuff like that, it's really subdued. It looks really nice. It's definitely my favorite version of the PS4 controller, at least that I own. Yep, so we marked that one off. And I think we start, we're gonna go down Cherry Street now, I think. I'm talking to myself out loud right now. Yeah, I was just trying to get my bearings, trying to follow the triangle to make sure I go in the right direction. I'm pretty directionally challenged in real life, so I remember being a kid and pretty early on getting a GPS. I think I got the GPS before I got my car, so I have a reputation in my family for being directionally challenged. I can navigate with maps pretty well, as long as it's like a cornfield, but as soon as I get into a car or different ways for me to lose my bearings, like going fast or maybe paying attention to details in a game and then having to go back to the map, that kind of stuff, it doesn't stick in my brain, so it takes me a few more seconds to kind of figure out, okay, where am I going again? I gotta get my bearings.
Somebody was camping here.
Looks recent.
Think it was Tommy?
Maybe.
It's probably Tommy.
Help me out here.
And then the
Maybe
game
we can
gives
get
me
in
a
that
hint.
way.
But as you see in the camera here, the game gives me a hint to progress the story. And I was trying to find the other stuff. I'm like, well, that doesn't help me. Thanks. I'm just trying to move along. And I think after looking at this, I go around the square a little bit, the block. And even doing that, I wasn't able to really find much, so I just kind of gave up. You'll see here in a moment. It's such a bummer I lost the audio recording on this one. I actually was loading it up into the program to edit, and then I threw the audio in there. I'm like, wait, there's no sound information. It saved the file name, but it didn't save any of the sound. I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. But it's alright. You guys get to hear the good mic now, and you get to get a different kind of commentary. Probably not what we're going to be doing the whole time, but it should be fun for both of us. And I'm just trying to scavenge at this point. I'm like, how the heck do I get to where the map says I need to go? The soundtrack in this game has been amazing. Everything seems to queue up just right. And I forget his full name, but Gustavo is just really talented. I remember reading, I was either reading or watching a YouTube video on some interviews, and he doesn't really write down most of his music. A lot of it's ad-libbed, at least in the first game. He'll actually just get his guitar out and make stuff, and he doesn't really write down too much, so yeah, a lot of the stuff is like first takes.
Think we found
And
the bank.
it's really cool how he
Should we
can
go explore it?
go
Good call.
pretty quick. More like he can make the music on the fly, you know? He can just, they're like, oh, it needs to be eerie. And he's like, all right, I got this. And then they record it, take one, boom. Or maybe he does it, and then they give him feedback, and he does it, you know? But, like, it's not written down. He doesn't take tons and tons of time to carefully make it perfect. It just comes off very natural. It comes off very, it does what it's supposed to do, and it feels so real because of the off-the-cuff. That's always what I've gotten from the music, so. cool stuff. We're just I think at this point I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. We're gonna move on. The game's telling me where I need to go,
Hear that?
and I hear zombies.
I hear it. In fact,
They do too.
It's coming from the courthouse. This is gonna suck, isn't it?
No, I
Guess
think
we're ready
if
for
I
one.
remember correctly, this one was fun. You gonna help Dina? Nope. Alright, so let me try and walk you through my process of a couple of days ago. So I have no rifle ammo. And we're in the courthouse. The courthouse is pretty nice because these benches here give you plenty of cover. At this point, I'm just trying to check and reload everything. Make sure I can do everything I need to do. But I'm like, yeah, I'm probably just going to stealth kill them all because the zombies all seem to be contained in their own rooms. So since they're not watching each other's backs, why not just kill them real easy? I can see I'm remembering to use listen mode now. That's something I need to remember to stay in the habit of too. Listen mode, it's very helpful to be able to see through walls just a little bit, and this game is really good. Like, you almost don't even need listen mode because of how good the audio cues are, and with headphones on, I feel like I know roughly where everything is. To the left, to the right, is in front, behind, that sort of thing. But it can help visually too. If there's more than one zombie, you can kind of figure things out a little bit better. You know, maybe I don't stealth it. Oh, that's right. I'm gonna Molotov them. I can't remember if this fails, because I think this fails, and then the stealth kill is the more successful one. Let's see together. The hard part here is they like run into different rooms, so I don't know if I wake them all up with this bottle. That's the problem. Oh no, really? I'm not actually thinking that, am I? Or maybe I actually decide to do the stealth stuff. Wow, was I smart? Try one. That's new. Yeah, because I think I get this one. Very nice. And then, do we get the runner there or not? It's cool how you can hear the gurgling. Really gross, but cool. Details, details. This game has them all. See, like, looking around this corner, I could have just used the listen mode. Oh, there we go, see? I figured it out. Only problem I have with stealthing is it slows down the pacing of the game. It's the only thing. I have a feeling this game is going to be insanely long. Like, we're talking 14 hours or something like that. Don't get me wrong, I want to take my time, I want to enjoy this game, but I don't want to waste your time or my time. I'm still working, I'm still trying to be active with my friends, so especially as things loosen up regulation-wise with the pandemic that's been going on. Definitely recommend you guys all stay safe, keep wearing masks, stuff like that, but when things are opening up, I definitely want to hang out with friends and taking the precautions, of course. I actually have a UV light bath for gadgets because I like cell phones. I like all sorts of technology. I actually have another YouTube channel on here. I started much younger in like freshman, sophomore year of college, reviewing cell phones, and it was fun. I think I got like 4 videos on it, and the 4th one I'm the most proud of because it looked really good. But I couldn't have done it by myself. I actually got some help from a friend, and if I were to continue doing it, I definitely want to become more independent on recording my footage for that sort of thing. Plus, I just don't have all the money to record reviews on cell phones, you know. It's hard to get into that industry without having some money to drop down first, you know, invest in your career. So, meanwhile, recording videos like this, all the equipment I had is all gaming stuff I already had realistically. Like, I had the computer that could render videos because I use a relatively powerful computer to play video games. And I'm weird, so I already have good audio equipment because that's just a passion of mine. So I just used the audio equipment I had laying around, and I'm really happy to be doing this. I think I've said that a million times, so I'll try not to bore you. I'm just trying to figure out how many more zombies there are, and do I stealth kill it, or if it's just one, do I just blow their face off, you know? Oh, but I lucked out. They're not even looking at me, so I think we get the stealth kill. Oh yeah, first try. I have some mannerisms and some certain things that I'll just say. Kind of hoping one of them turns into an inside joke for this channel.
Yeah.
If there's anything that stuck out to you, why don't you leave it in the comments? Just say, oh, I like it when he goes stealth kill, or stuff like that.
Tell if somebody's lying.
So,
Hey, little help?
when you see these
Coming.
little cutscene bits right here when they're trying to exit, this is really cool, right? So they'll actually let you don't have to kill the zombies there either, right? You could actually just go through that little part if you
ever
got
been to a
past them all,
courthouse before?
and you could that door would be
you never
locked
got in trouble
because
back in
that
Boston?
thing would still be there.
Oh, I
That
got
happened in the
trouble,
first game too.
but never landed in a courthouse.
And they're just talking about Ellie being a rambunctious kid. See, like that? We're full on rags. I'm just like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So let me just make something real quick, because I don't want to leave any supplies behind. This is so much nicer than our first playthrough with The Last of Us, because we were struggling for health kits and all sorts of stuff. It was a really fun struggle, but that stress is just gone now.
Some serious shit went down here.
Oh, it's this part. Okay, yeah, I like this part.
Parking garage.
Well, the gas is in there, right?
Well, that's what the note said.
Well, let's get down there.
This is so cool. I like how they made it so you can break glass, because it really adds more of an exploration theme to things, because you don't know if you could get through there. From playing other video games, when you see glass like that, it's just, oh, I can't go in. Oh, I gotta use the door. Something like that, you know? But having the ability as the player to just break down a barrier like that, it feels so...
This might come in
It feels so
handy.
intuitive. Just be like, oh yeah, I'm actually exploring. I get to go do this. I really appreciate that in this game. And I'm reading this note here
What's it
about
say?
the QZ
This
being
guy was a Frederick
compromised.
commander or something.
I was looking for the code, really. I think I
They were
like
losing
barely
to the
skimmed it.
WLF and trying to escape.
Yeah, I'm just looking for the code. I'm scanning with my eyes right now.
You don't need a lot if you're that vicious. We need to be careful.
Let's just be smart about it.
But then I find it right there.
Okay, Jesse.
860-722. It says confiscated items too, so it's going to be bullets and stuff like that. Oh, and this is cool.
What's
so
that?
this is just
Old to-do
WLF
list.
hit list, basically. Isaac, I think, is someone we're actually chasing after. I can't remember. But I don't remember Allison Cole. Or Hugo Gonzalez. Although, in the cutscene where Joel got killed, there was a guy of Mexican descent who said a couple of words. So it might be him, it might not. Oh, and this is cool too. So we unlock another tree, and I talk about it in the playthrough as well. I got really excited because I mentioned in an earlier video that, hey, there's only like one tech tree I can go through and unlock things. but as the game progresses, I'm actually getting more skills I can increase. So that's really nice, because I was worried it would be very linear on how I progress as a player, but no, I still get the choice to do things and pick how I want to grow as a character, so that way I can play the game the way I want to play it. I appreciate that freedom, and I'm glad they're giving it to me. And I am going to forget the code. It didn't take very long, but I did forget it. And I believe I turn it here. And once I put it in, I'm like, I think I mix up the 0 and the 7, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'm going to zoom out and double check. 860722. So yes, I mixed it up. Oh, something I'm just noticing now is Dina's pointing her light right on the safe. Like she's a companion that's, like, in the real world, if somebody were doing this sort of thing, I'd want them to point the light there, you know? And the AI knows that and points it there for me. It's super cool. And the game's just reminding me to do drugs. Not that I need a reminder, right? As long as it's in a video game, always do your drugs. Yeah, so this is me realizing, oh, hey, there's more than one tree, which is super cool. It does stink that you can't prioritize the whole tree, like you have to go linear per tree, but at least they give you a couple of routes that you can prioritize. Like if I wanted to, I could prioritize crafting, because that's the thing I like to do the most in this game. Stuff like that. And then I could just exit here, even though I unlocked the door. Now, Dina made the comment earlier that something big happened here, so I'm going to check it out real quick. This is going to fall any day now unless you quit Fedra. I can't keep you safe. Understand why you stuck with them, but after the Thursday Market Massacre. So there's massacres going on. It's a death sentence. Listen. So this guy clearly did not make it. Unfortunate.
Brought it on yourself, I guess.
You can kind of see how little Ellie cares for soldiers. Yeah, so actually I think this was the video I decided I was going to start recording longer sessions. This one definitely runs longer. I don't know if I've said it yet, so I'll say it again real quick. I started realizing that doing the nice short 20-minute videos in a game of this scale, I think it's just going to actually slow things down for both you and me. So I decided to start recording at 40-minute bursts. I can't remember if we're going to have a short one coming up, or if I go straight to the 40 after this one. But this one's going to be a little bit longer, and I'm aiming to make the rest of the videos a little bit longer as well. Just because I think it'll help us go through the campaign at a more reasonable pace. If you gotta pause or come back, or maybe even you don't want to watch anymore, that's totally fine. I'm just happy I'm making these for myself. Oh yeah, and this is gross too. You land in the water, and it's still water, so there's probably all sorts of bacteria and crap in that. Oh, this is cool. So this is a shootout. They're gonna come running at us in a couple of ways, I believe. And I'm prioritizing the clicker as I should. That thing can one-shot kill me. And I learned my lesson. I'm not gonna melee that clicker. And now I'm kind of freaking out because I gotta help Dina. Honestly, the game gives me enough time, and I think I realized that. That's why I take the time to kill that guy. So that's good. This machete definitely comes in handy. So I guess you could hear the stealth music, or the stealth audio cues through there. So I guess I could have stealthed it, but being such a closed-in space, I really didn't even consider that option. One thing I want to get more in practice of while I'm playing this game is shooting them once and then taking the time to melee them. That should save a lot of bullets, and it's a guaranteed kill if I shoot them and stun them and then get the melee hit in. So hopefully I'll try and incorporate that in more videos.
Jesus.
Save us some time
Really
and save us
problem.
some bullets.
Just figured that he's never even made it out of a garage. Let's find that gas.
It's right over there.
And
Wait. We got gasoline.
Heck
it's
yeah.
changing.
Don't you jinx
I'm
us.
surprised she doesn't fill it any more than that. I guess she just doesn't want to spill it. I guess that would suck. It's your only backpack and you spill
Fedric is
gasoline in
calling
it.
to us.
But she also kind of haphazardly put it in there,
Get
so
out of here. Oh.
it is a video game. Okay, so this is cool. I have to try and find a way to open the door. And I think I was like actually already by it. I just didn't get the right button cue for it yet. Hold on. I'm waiting for my slow self to figure out that I gotta go back.
I'm not climbing back up over here.
I'm glad the game told me that because I would have tried. Then I'm like, oh, well, maybe I can move those barrels. But no, I find scissors. That's good stuff. And then I see those windows over there. So I'm like, well, maybe I climb. Maybe I climb up this roof here. I see that hole. And I kind of bummed I didn't figure out how to take advantage of that. Because I think that is a cue that I could go in there. But I never figured it out. It's a real bummer. There's probably some crate or something I could have moved. And I'll definitely try and go through it in my next playthrough I do myself. Let you guys know if I find anything. Yeah, so I try to see if I can climb up there. No go. Still trying to find it. Still trying to find it. Then I just ask for the hint. I'll probably take the hints. I'm not trying to cheat or anything. I'm just trying to keep the pace going, you know? And, oh yeah, so you move the chain. And I didn't think about it because for the most part, we're usually lifting gates open or stuff like that. So this is really weird. Check this out. Holy crap, right? Like, I don't know. I should have just taken this like crazy animation as
Okay,
like
let go.
the hint that, hey, maybe your
job, babe.
computer's gonna freak
Thanks.
out. Even though I'm playing us on the PS4. This is just like bad luck, right?
Okay.
That whole animation. Crazy weird.
Be a while
I'm really
before
glad we got it
Abby and her
on camera
friends.
though.
It might be worth grabbing some supplies before we press
But
on.
yeah, definitely gave me
Good
some
point.
chills because like this game has had some uncanny valley moments in a good way. Like it's so close to being real, and then we had those crazy like plastic doll moments right there where they just weren't moving, and I just so freaked out. I think I actually take a few seconds to get on the horse because I'm just like talking to you guys. I'm like, holy crap, what the heck just happened? All right, and I guess that'll be it for this video. So come back and we will see you guys in the next one.